scoop up a good chunk of it, and then come up into our sky, into our bit of auroras, leaving little different areas of color and everything everywhere. It's fantastic. Come down here, swipe it through the bottom. Your mountain can look exactly how you want it to look, right? Doesn't have to look like mine. Doesn't have to look like any mountain you've ever seen before in your life, right? A couple little bits. Bang, bang, bang. Now take this paint, scrape it away. You don't want to have too much paint up there. All right, mush it out, pull it out as far as you can, and that way when you go to hit it with your brush, it's going to look really cool. Now let's come in with a Bob Ross 1-inch landscape brush, just like that. Come over here, grab it up, pull it out to the side. Grab it, pull it, right? Which way is your mountain gonna look? Well, that all depends on you, right? How are you taking and spreading out the paint? Moving it this way, moving it that way. Maybe we had like a sheer drop back here and then it went off in this direction, right? Maybe continuing along until all of a sudden this guy we just grabbed and pulled off right down here, meeting up with everything. Look at that, look at this really cool little mountain right out here in our night sky. Fantastic. Man, that's going to be a cool looking one, guys. Now, let's mix up a bunch of pretty colors. Let's get a bit of our white, bit of our blue, and we'll use this as our shadowy mix. A little shadowy blue color, just like that. Now remember, you want to have enough blue to make it shadowy, and therefore our contrast will bounce off, and I'll show you. I'll show you in just a second. I'm going to come in here like that. All right, grabbing up a little bit of that dark mix, mixing that into our blue to help take that light color and dull it down, right? Just like that, right there. Now we'll come in and let's decide where all the light is coming from in our scene. Maybe we got a couple little wicked little things back in here, just being shadowy, just all sorts of shadowiness. That guy will have a bunch of light on him, so we'll go off the back of the mountain. Right now, you got to have enough paint on your knife if you want to have a mountain drop out. There we go. The more that we're touching, the more pressure you're giving it, the harder it's going to be to have all those cool little breaky pieces, right? You want to be very light-handed with your pressure. Maybe this guy, we slid down, and we're down in here, like we came down, we hit, drop down this way, right? All sorts of shadowy stuff. Never know what we're going to end up covering until we cover it, right? You can even take this guy and drop a couple little bits going that way to match up with his little friend. Now, let's come in and grab a little bit of our white back in here. All right, just a little teeny little sneak of that blue color. And now we want it to be very bright. We don't want it to be a deep dark blue or a faded gray kind of blue. We want it to be white with that little touch of blue in there, right? Just so it's not pure white. Let's come up here, whip our mountain just right down the side. Where does your mountain live as you're coming down? All these little bits of snow, right? Got enough paint on our knife. Just roll off like that, break down. Very cool. Maybe there's a little touch of light right on the edge of our little mountain up here. Maybe trying to come down. Maybe it picks up in here, especially off the back of this guy. And we start sliding down, right? Catching that light. Now, let's come over here, grab a little bit more of our white, and come up into this section, this different angle, and throw it down this side, right? Taking it up and then down. What's Coconut doing up here?
She was just sitting watching you.
Oh, really? Coconut, get your butt out of here. I gotta do a show. Okay, we'll go down like that. Just pulling in different directions, and you have your different colors will make a different mountain for you every time. All right, if I try to do this exact same mountain again, and I tried pulling it in opposite directions, it wouldn't look like this. I'm being dead honest with you. Dang, this mountain's just growing like crazy. How far do we want him to come down is the question. Now, let's come in with our 2-inch brush. A nice clean one. You can use a Bob Ross one or this paint with Bram one, which is getting harder and harder to see the handle as my dirty hands keep getting the handle dirtier, right? That's all my fault. Now, let's come in here. We're going to take this stuff and we're going to dab at this little bit. Not going to go all the way up. We don't want to get rid of all of our details, but we do want to come in and just start kind of just like typewritering, if that's a word. Typewritering. Right? Little bits. And the more that you tap down, the more bits are going to become harder to see. Say we came down in here, now we're getting into this crimson-y color, and boy, oh boy, it's starting to turn pink on us. Come over to this guy, and we start to tap. And we're tapping, just like a little typewriter. We hit the thing, and we come out. We come out, and 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 we come out, all the way over here, all the way over there. It's kind of in this roundish shape. It's going to help your mountain look more 3D. All right, come over here very softly with the brush. Now we're going to try not to go all the way up to the top, but just try to soften it enough to where we're taking away some of the little details back there. We don't have to see every single thing in our mountain back here, right? Very light little bits. Very light. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I love you. Very lightly. That way it takes away all of the up closeness of our mountain. We don't need it to be so close up here on us. There we go. Little peak. A little snowy peak all lit up in the night. Watch this. Change this whole guy. Right, come back here. A little bit of that snowy color. Boom. Drop it down. Right down through that little thing. Very cool. Now we have to decide what are we going to do with our remaining painting. Right? We've got our big old giant mountain. Everything's all gorgeously mixed up. We got all of our foggy mist in here. Right? Just like that. Now